I have to be honest, I haven't read your books. I don't really read books, but I know the basics. God is dead, Will to Power, The Blonde Beast. Very provocative stuff, very edgy. I respect the brand. You positioned yourself well. The dangerous thinker. The one who says what others won't. That's good marketing. That's how you stay relevant.
I spent years in isolation, lost my health, lost my sanity, wrote through pain that would have silenced lesser men, and you reduce this to brand management. Tell me, Bateman, what have you created? What have you contributed to human thought? What exists because you lived that would not exist otherwise?
I work at Pierce & Pierce, mergers and acquisitions. We closed the Fisher account last month, $800 million. That's creation. That's real impact. You wrote books that professors assign to undergraduates who don't understand them. I move capital that shapes industries, that builds buildings, that employs thousands of people. My work is tangible. Yours is just words.
Words that will be read in 200 years, 300 years, 1,000 years. Your Fisher account will be forgotten by next quarter. The buildings your capital constructs will be demolished and rebuilt. The industries you shape will be replaced by industries you cannot imagine. You are a function of a system that does not know your name. I am a voice that changed how humanity understands itself. We are not comparable, Bateman. We are not even in the same category of existence.
That's a little arrogant, don't you think? I mean, you died in 1900. Syphilis, right? Went insane. Spent your last years being cared for by your sister. Not exactly a triumphant ending. I'm 32. I have a corner office. I make $700,000 a year plus bonus. I dine at Dorsia. I have a reservation next Tuesday at 9. Do you understand how hard it is to get a reservation at Dorsia?
I do not know what Dorsia is. I suspect it does not matter. You have listed for me your income, your office, your restaurant bookings. These are the things you believe give your life value. But notice what is missing. No mention of what you think, what you feel, what you believe about the nature of existence. You have described a life composed entirely of externals, as though you yourself are merely a container for status markers. A mannequin dressed in achievements that belong to your employer, your tailor, your reservation system.
I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. About music, mostly. Genesis, Whitney Houston, Huey Lewis and the News. I have very specific opinions about their artistic development. I could talk for hours about the craftsmanship of their later albums, the production values, the way they evolved from more experimental work to something more commercially accessible but still artistically valid.
You have opinions about commercial products. Musicians who created work specifically designed to appeal to the widest possible audience. This is not thought. This is consumption narrated. You do not engage with the music. You catalog it, rank it, compare it to other music so that you can demonstrate knowledge that positions you relative to other consumers. Even your aesthetics are competitive. Even your taste is a business card.
What's wrong with competition? Competition drives excellence. The best restaurants survive. The best suits get worn. The best people rise to the top. That's how it works. That's how it should work. You wrote about the will to power. This is will to power. Dominating the competition. Being the best. Having the things that prove you're the best.
You understand nothing. The will to power is not the will to accumulate. It is not the will to consume more than your neighbor. It is the will to overcome yourself, to become something greater than you were, to create values rather than adopt them. What have you overcome, Bateman? What limitation have you transcended? What value have you created that did not come with a price tag? You have confused domination of a marketplace with domination of the self. The first is mere success. The second is greatness. You have achieved the first. You will never approach the second.
I dominate myself constantly. I wake up at 5 every morning, 1,000 crunches, then the ice pack on my face, the moisturizer, the cleanser, the toner. I control every variable, every calorie, every muscle fiber. My body is a machine I have perfected through discipline. That's self-overcoming.
Your body is a product you maintain for display. You sculpt it so others will admire it. You preserve it so it will signal youth and vitality in business meetings. Even your discipline serves external validation. You are not overcoming yourself. You are optimizing a performance. The man who truly overcomes himself does not care what others see. He becomes what he must become regardless of audience. You cannot take a step without imagining who is watching.
Everyone cares what others think. That's human nature. Even you. You wanted people to read your books. Wanted recognition. That's why you wrote. That's why anyone creates anything. For the audience. For the validation. Don't pretend you're above it. You're not above anything. You died crazy and alone.
What will they say about Patrick Bateman? That he had good taste in suits. That he closed accounts efficiently. That his business card had a very nice watermark. I will tell you what they will say. Nothing. Because there is nothing to say. You have lived a life of pure surface. There is no depth to remember. No contribution to honor. No thought to preserve. You will die. And the space you occupied will fill instantly with another young man in a Valentino suit, who also cannot get a reservation at restaurants that do not matter.
You don't know anything about me. You don't know what I've done, what I'm capable of. I'm not just a suit. I'm not just an account manager. There are things. I've done things that you wouldn't understand. Nobody understands.
I understand perfectly. The violence you imagine committing. The fantasies of destruction that fill the void where a self should be. I have studied men like you. Not personally, but conceptually. You are what happens when a society produces humans without interiority, without purpose, without God or any replacement for God except consumption. The emptiness becomes unbearable. The mind invents horrors to feel something, anything. The murders you dream of, real or not, are just attempts to prove you exist, to make an impact too large to ignore.
I am real. I'm sitting right here. I have a body, a job, an apartment, a fiancé. These are real things, tangible things, more real than your ideas, more real than your philosophy. You can't touch an idea. You can touch a Rolex. I have a Rolex. Several. Actually, what do you have?
I have influenced every serious thinker for the past century. Freud, Heidegger, Sartre, Foucault, Camus. They built on what I started. My ideas live in their ideas, which live in how your entire civilization understands itself. When you speak of self-improvement, you echo me poorly. When you speak of rejecting conventional morality, you echo me without knowing it. I am in the water you swim in. You cannot escape my influence even while denying it. Your Rolex will stop ticking within decades. My thoughts will still be shaping minds when your great-grandchildren are dust.
That's very abstract, very intellectual. But here's what I know. Tonight I'm having dinner at Texarkana, then drinks at Tunnel, then maybe a club, maybe something else. I will be seen. I will be envied. I will go home to an apartment that costs more per month than most people make in a year. And I will feel. What will I feel? I don't know. I don't feel much anymore. Is that normal? Should I feel something?
That is the question you should have asked at the beginning. Not what you own, not what you've achieved, but what you feel. And the answer you just gave me is the only honest thing you have said. Nothing. You feel nothing. Because you are nothing. You have spent your life constructing an exterior so perfect that you forgot to build an interior. I wrote about the death of God. You are what comes after. Not the Hobermensch who creates new values. The last man who wants only comfort and cannot understand why comfort is not enough. I predicted you, Bateman. I warned about you. And here you sit, exactly as I feared, proof that my warnings were not heard, and that the void I described has swallowed everything I hoped humanity might become.